Hello, Mark Larsen here for the Dreamcatcher podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today, I welcome back friend Edwin Muller from actually from Kansas, but we met in Hastings. So, how are you doing, Ed?
Great. It's a good day to be alive, you know?
So, yeah, it is. Now, I'm going to call you. We were just talking about different names, and I might have to call you now too. So,
That's cool. Yeah, keep it short and simple and sweet, you know?
yeah, that's true. So, little bit of background. We met at in Hastings. I think actually at the Y.
Hmm.
And, you were doing things there, and now you are located down in at KU. Um, so a little bit of background for the people who didn't see on the first podcast that we did.
Yeah, so first podcast we were more into talking about Hastings and kind of my journey from when I was little to all the way to up to college and what built me to go to Hastings specifically.
Uh,
I touched on specifically family, about my business, which actually I'm still doing right now, which I'm actually starting to
Excellent.
hopefully get really big here soon. So that's the goal. I think I've just been procrastinating,
Yeah,
and I think that's the biggest thing with the entrepreneur. We're all going
I
to
agree.
procrastinate if we're entrepreneurs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mark knows this. Everybody knows this. That's an entrepreneur. But at the end of the day, once we start, it'll just keep going and it'll keep flowing. So,
Yes.
but yeah, it talks about family again and my business and then just the journey of college and being an athlete in college. And I think that now I have two sides of it. You know, I've been almost half a year now, actually exactly half a year now in a college where I'm not an athlete and I'm just a student. And I think there's a whole different aspect of life when you're just a student. So we can definitely touch on that.
Okay. Sounds
But uh, yeah, I'm originally from Hayes, Kansas. I was born in Virginia, Arlington, Virginia,
okay.
and moved down here because I got adopted. If you weren't on the first podcast, and now I'm traveled to Nebraska for school because I got a really good hefty scholarship to play basketball, and now I'm at the University of Kansas because I just decided to go to school and chase my entrepreneur dreams.
Excellent. That's excellent. So you're not doing any athletics this when you're down there?
Nope, I actually am not even in any what's it called? What do they do that's like just for fun?
Uh,
Like a rec league. I'm not even in a rec league, which I need to be if I'm being honest with you. I need to do that. But
uh-huh.
right now I'm actually just consistently going to the gym.
Okay.
And since
Cool.
I've seen you, I've gained actually probably about 20 pounds. So
Wow.
I'm a little bigger now,
I
but
could tell that from
in
what
a good way. It's not
Facebook
in a
posts.
fat way. It's in a good way. So,
Getting jacked
but
there. So
oh yeah, oh yeah, staying in the gym. Sadly, they don't have a hot tub where I'm at, so that kinda sucks, but, I
good.
mean, they got a sauna, so I'll get in there and have some good conversation, but other than that,
Yep.
miss the hot tub days, that's for sure, but
Yeah, and the hot tub, they just finally this past Monday got it going after a month of not working. So
really?
more problems with that thing. So
At least I
uh
got it going again.
yeah, that's true. So okay. I just wanted to reach out again because you have changed so much since the last time we talked, just from your Facebook posts. And you're doing such great things, and you got a tat now. And
Yeah,
so maybe tell the audience what you have and what led you to get that tattoo.
yeah, yeah, so, on our first podcast, we were kinda talking about, you know, just the realism of just that everything is happening for a reason. The journey is the journey because um you have an outcome already set for you. It's just what journey are you choosing? Like, are you choosing God's path, or are you choosing a path that could be more simple and easy? You know what I mean?
Right.
And the reason why I have two tattoos,
But yeah, okay. Okay.
full forearm, but the first tattoo I got, and I actually got it in Hastings, which I don't know if I had it when I was on the podcast,
I don't
but
think so.
I got 530 on my wrist. And actually it was to represent me and a friend that actually woke up every single morning and we never missed.
Wow.
And it says 5:30 a.m., which I consider AM, but I just like the numbers because the numbers part that Mark was talking about. It's actually one of the main reasons why I got it because I love numbers ever since he talked about numbers. And again, the main reason why I got it, woke up with a friend every morning and we were just consistent. And to me, being an entrepreneur and being myself, consistency is key. I think
Amen.
the farthest I've got in life is because I'm consistent. And all the things I've got, whether it's school, whether it's basketball, it was because I was consistent in it, and that's why I got better in it. And so I put that 530 to represent that every morning I wake up, I see it, and I'm like, okay, I got to do it again. I got to do it again. And then
Yes.
repetition is key. It
Yes.
may suck sometimes to get up and do it, but you got to get up and do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with, even if you got a 9 to 5, like you got to get up and do it. Because if not, you're gonna lose your job. So again, I don't ever want to have a 9 to 5. Mark doesn't either, but
No, never.
it's we're chasing our dreams, and that's what the Dreamcatcher podcast is all about.
Yep.
But that was the first tattoo, 530, and then my second tattoo I got in Lawrence, Kansas.
Okay.
And it says everything happens for a reason, and I think that's one of my most biggest quotes I've ever lived by, because when things are going wrong, and we touched on this on the first podcast, but when things are going wrong and maybe they're not going your way, and let's say somebody passes in your family or something really tragic happens, you think in your head that it's like, oh, well, now, life's over. Now things are, not going to go my way, this, that. But you just got to realize that everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
Even if it's the worst things, even if it's the best things, everything happens for a reason. There shouldn't be, a time in your life where you're, thinking negative, because God has a path. And sometimes that path isn't always what you want.
It is
You
true.
got to come to realize that, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be rough. God doesn't want you to go down the easy route. He knows what you're capable of, and he knows what you can get through. And that's why it's rough, is because he knows that you are stronger than you think, and he tests you. He tests you a
Yes.
lot. And
Oh, yes.
and sometimes you think it's the devil, but it's actually God testing you, and so but yeah, that was my second tattoo, and then my third, I got this, and it says, you might not be able to read it fully, but it says, "Enjoy all the little things in life, because one day you'll realize they were the big things." And then I got me sitting here in the grass with some flowers, looking at the sky.
Nice.
And to me, enjoying the little things to me is just like doing the little things right, and making sure that all those little things and all those little moments I'm actually embracing and enjoying, because later on in life you'll realize that all those little moments, whether it was me being on the podcast with Mark Larsen today and the last time we were on it, they're little moments that you have in life,
Yep.
and they go by fast.
Yes.
This could be a 30-minute conversation, this could be an hour and a half conversation, but however long it is, I think that you should always give 100% effort and enjoy it. Even if it's little, even if it's eating your food, embrace eating that meal, because you never know when it could be your last. You never
Oh,
know when you may run out of money and you may not have enough for a pancake and some peanut butter on the
yeah.
top. You know what I mean? So
Never
just
know.
you just gotta, embrace those little things, because again, you never know when those things
Yeah.
may
You have so
go
much
away.
wisdom. You have so much wisdom. So, Edwin, how old are you again?
I'm 20 now. I'm 20 now. I'm getting
20.
I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old.
I can't even imagine being that like that at 20. You have so much wisdom that's gonna, I mean, people do, the discipline and the doing that is a gift. People always think that, that isn't a gift, and it is, because you get up and do it everything, do it every day. And then, like you were saying, God tests you. I call it strength training, because he definitely trains you. So he knows what you're capable of. And I would have been, before I am where I would have thought it was, the other side, the devil, whatever you want to say, causing all these problems. But it's definitely, he does know, and he works in mysterious ways. Well, he crossed our
Very.
paths, and I'm honored to know you. I mean, it's just how much you've come along, even from when I last time I talked to you. I can't.
And I think that, people ask me all the time, like they ask me, which, at the end of the day, I think there's a little bit of matter to it, but it doesn't matter to me, and I think eventually it'll come. But people ask me when it comes to success, oh, well, where's the money at? What
Really
have you
said that.
accumulated in money? What have you, and I'm like, there's things that when you die and you're away, there's some things that don't go away, and that's knowledge. That's your
Yep.
mind that will always be there.
Yep.
The cars, the house, the cash that you have, it'll all go away. Eventually, that's just gonna die. But the things that you actually retained and the knowledge you have, that's what will be kept, and that's what will get you wealth forever.
Amen.
Whether it's money wealth, or whether it's knowledge wealth, or just becoming a better person for your community or the people around you. So
Yeah.
um,
No, this is so much. People take this to heart, because this is what gets you forward. This gets you in your life. It
mhm.
is. It's People say they grind, but it's just like I always think that if you're doing what you really are meant to be doing in this life, it feels like flow. Yeah, you're working out and doing stuff like that, but it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it. Um,
Nope.
Kind of like what you've been doing, what I've been seeing where you're helping all these people. So how long you been doing that?
Man, so honestly, I've always been doing it in my life. I feel like ever since
Okay.
I was like in high school, a freshman, but I just started like kind of recording the little bits of little interaction because to be honest, that is not all that I do. I don't video everything that I do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I just video
Sure.
the things that I think could really benefit other people and make
Understand.
them think, "Oh, maybe I should go help somebody out today." You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
I don't do it because I want recognition. I do it because I want people to realize that being a good person is the best way to go about life. And if
Yes.
you want
Yes.
things to actually happen in your life and you want to see advancement, just go out and help somebody out, because eventually down the line it'll come back. It's just don't
Yep.
don't expect it, but it'll come back. You know
It
what I mean?
will.
Whether it's getting a meal or whether it's, just becoming a better person yourself.
Yeah.
It'll come back. So
It will. I mean, either way, karma or dharma. What you put out, you get back. And I mean, you're helping so many amazing people. I mean, are most people receptive to that?
Um, to be honest, some people, you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of different people that you meet when you're a
Sure.
social person. Like there's gonna be
Uh,
people you'll walk up to and they'll tell you to F bomb off,
I'm
and
sure
it's
they
like,
would. Yeah.
okay, and
Yep.
you give them the space. But
Yeah.
there's some people that honestly like really, really appreciate it. And I think the same thing with life, like, you're gonna meet people, you're gonna see things that, you know, you won't like, but then there's gonna be some things that you're gonna like, and that's the whole part of experience is just doing it, you know what I mean? Once you make that first step, it'll come easy, and I think with going up to people and being nice, it's helped me. I'm actually just changed to a marketing major, but it's helped
Okay.
me, with business. It's helped me talk to people, it's helped me be more social,
Sure.
like,
Makes
for
sense.
instance, like when we were talking on the podcast, we can be bluntly honest now. Like the first podcast, like I didn't really feel like I had as much confidence when it came to talking, but
Okay.
now that I've actually talked to people and communicated and started to understand how people feel, and just you feel more comfort and you feel more confidence when you're talking to people, and I think that's a plus of just communication, because communication is key, especially in today's society. If you want to be successful, you're the people around you and the people you meet is going to be your success rate,
Yep.
so
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why when I've been seeing you, that's why I had to get you back on the podcast because you have changed so much. Well, your confidence, but your vibe. I mean, you had a great vibe before, but your vibe is even so much better. I mean, it's just you're walking the walk. I think you can see what your path is supposed to be, at least as much as you've been showing to this point. And so marketing. I mean, that's an awesome major. So, what would you like to eventually do with that?
yeah. So like I said, I just invested about 2,000 into my business. Not a lot, but it's more than I've usually invested
Okay.
into my
Okay.
business. So the goal is to actually, have my online store open. It actually is open right now, but I don't have
Okay,
anything for
cool.
sale. So you can
Okay.
see it, sign up for messaging, all that stuff. But the goal is to kind of get a community where we can build each other up and we can always, be by each other and keep each other positive. My next drop, I can actually show you, but I'll keep talking at the same time.
Okay. Okay. No, I mean,
Um,
so I mean, you gave me that awesome jacket. Are you still doing in that arena then? Is it mainly with clothing and
yes.
okay.
Yep, so the next drop here, I'm not an artist, but this was my mock-up. Actually, let me
Okay.
let me show you the mock-up of the one that they did because
Okay.
that um but yeah, the goal of my business, and if you weren't on the first one, it's called Originals Perfection. And again, I think the reason it'll be successful is because it has meaning and it has purpose. And it's something I truly believe will be successful. A lot of
Yes.
people that start brands, they just want the money,
Yep.
they just want the fame, they just want all that. To me, I think there's actually meaning and there's purpose of me doing it. Eventually I wanna actually start a foundation and be able to fund homeless people and be able to start just a community of just good, rounded, amazing people.
Love
Uh,
that. No, my gosh, I have to do sometime we gotta do a collaboration, man. Just, something that I mean, you were so inspirational. I just, I still can't believe you're only 20. So, I but so, would you wanna I mean, your marketing, are you gonna expand your product line then and besides with what you're doing or have been
Yeah,
doing?
so right now I'm doing hoodies, but I think the goal is down the line, I wanna be able to, kinda have my own I have my own logo and it's a scribble,
Okay.
but the goal is to actually have my own, like, literally, like, lettering, italics, all that stuff so that when people see it, it's like, "Oh, that's the original
Sure.
perfection
Yeah,
community.
they're gonna
That's original perfection," you know? But right now I'm doing hoodies and joggers, so as you can see I'll show you right here. I'll actually just change my camera around. Right here, this is
Oh,
the
nice. Oh, I love that.
original, and then so on the back, I'm making it more of a positive thing, and when you wear it, impact other people, and so on the back, it
Mm,
says, "Be yourself." I know
yep.
it's backwards, but it says, "Be yourself," and then right here, these are the pants to match. It's backwards, but it says original. So that when you're sitting down, you can kind of see it yourself. So that
Nice.
may impact you. And then I got some jackets coming in, which I think you'll like. I'll have to
Yeah, that
ship
looks
you
really
one.
nice. That's pretty sweet.
Um, but yeah, the sets really, really comfortable. Here's a black one or a gray one that has black
Okay.
lettering.
Yeah,
And,
nice.
and again, just I think that the main goal for this one is just to be able to impact people and make people understand that being yourself is the best thing you can do in today's world. And
Yeah,
that's the goal of the whole brand is to make people understand that if you want to go down your path, you have to be yourself. You know, it starts with being yourself. If you're not yourself, then you're not gonna be happy in life, and I promise
yeah,
you that. I promise you that. If you're doing something, let's say for instance, you're doing a 9 to 5 that you don't want to do. You don't wanna be at a 9 to 5. You're not gonna enjoy life, and I guarantee you don't enjoy life right now, you know,
yeah.
and you've thought about, "Well, what can I do? What can I do?"
Yep.
And I know you have some ideas of what you wanna do. It's just you haven't made that first step yet. And I was literally talking to my mom last night about how I started this brand. I remember going to Home Depot, I think, or yeah, it was Home Depot,
Okay.
and they had, Gildan shirts all the way in the back, and I went there and I bought like 150 Gildan shirts,
Oh,
and I told myself, "Well, I bought blank shirts, so now I gotta do something with them," you know? And I think people just tend to say they're gonna do something and then never make that first step.
they
Take
don't.
the risk, you know what I mean? I
Yep.
spent 100 I spent my whole bank account at the time because I was in high school,
Huh?
$180 or something like that,
Sure,
and, like,
yeah.
I was like, "Well, now I have to do something with this and make it $300, you know?" And so I just think that just making that first step is the hardest I honestly think it's one of the hardest things to do when it comes to entrepreneur,
I
you know,
agree.
and you just gotta do it. You're working
Yeah.
a 9 to 5, you wanna truly be a firefighter, go take the
Man.
test to be a firefighter. I don't know what the journey is to be a firefighter, but
Yeah.
go and, see what the process is like. Do some research, you know what I mean? And it's not that difficult. It's just in your head, it feels difficult,
It
so
Yeah. How do you I mean, I run into that, barrier on most people. How do you get somebody to initially take action? Because most people, they have the best of intentions, I believe, to take action, but they don't ever do it. And then that's kind of why I started this podcast. They run out of time because they just keep doing that over and over and over, month after month, year after
yeah.
year, and they run out of time. How do you get somebody motivated to finally because it probably is one of the scariest things you're gonna do. Um,
I think it starts back to the whole conversation we had with everything happens for a reason.
yeah,
I think people tend to when their life is going down, their life's going bad, they don't want to take risk anymore. And they don't want to just go out there and make that first step. And I think that's what gets their mind to think that it's going to be really, really hard. It's going to be really, really difficult is because they feel like all this stuff that they went through, it's not leading to this point. They think that it's just
yep,
leading them down, but it's really leading them up. Because God knows if you can get through that hard time, let's say someone passes away, like I said, or something really bad, tragic happens. He knows that if you can get through that, you can start that business.
you
You
can,
can you can you can be a firefighter.
you
You can
can.
be a cop. You can go
Yep,
to
yep,
college. You
yep.
can you can be in total debt at college and get out of it. You know what I mean? He knows that.
Yep.
but you have to trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes with trusting, and that's hard to do too.
It
I've
is.
been there too. It's hard to sometimes trust God, but once you have faith and once you understand that He has a path for you that is higher than you could ever believe, you just gotta let go and trust Him.
Yeah, you just
So.
gotta surrender, and surrender is definitely because people like to control or appear to control their outcome.
Mhm.
And, it's just like, "Nah, it doesn't work that way." Or like you were saying, everybody's like, "So when's the money coming in?" And they think the money's gonna come in immediately. And it's like, everything you get is a gift from God, and He controls everything. He can give it to you or He can take it away. But He always tells me, it's like, "Don't chase, attract." Become the person that would have that lifestyle, that business, that whatever you're wanting to go
Yeah,
after. You have to
and
do the stuff, the work.
I'll be honest with you, like, with what I do, with what Mark does, what every entrepreneur does, it's harder than 9 to 5. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're
It
working
is, yeah.
your mind, which I've realized this recently, you're literally working 24/7. You're always thinking
Pretty
about what
much.
can I do better? What can I do that? That's work itself. You know what I
Yep,
mean?
yep,
Not only are you putting in the time and effort to create things and make more videos and like I'm doing videos too and do all that,
content,
you're
yeah.
also thinking about it
You
24/7,
are,
and
yeah, which
and
I
it
do,
is
yeah.
it is hard. I'll be honest with you. It's not easy. But I think that you'll find you'll find true happiness in doing the hard things
You
because
will.
there's no better feeling than let's put money for instance. Let's say you get lucky and you win the lottery. It's nice. It's definitely nice. Don't get me wrong. But what's the difference between getting that and then getting $1 million that you worked your butt off to get? You know what I mean? And you were passionate about whatever you worked for and you love what you did and you got that $1 million because you told yourself you were going to
Yep.
being a firefighter, being that person you wanted to be. You know what I mean? There's a difference between that.
Oh, yeah.
Or let's take for instance working at McDonald's and making $1 million, which I don't know anybody that has, but let's say you did. Let's
Okay.
say you did. And how are you going to feel after that? Are you going to feel like, "Oh, wow. This is the outcome I wanted. This is how it was supposed to feel." You know what I mean? It's not about the outcome. It's not about the $1 million. It's about the journey. It's
It
about
is.
what you go through to get there. It's not about working at McDonald's and flipping hamburgers. I promise you it's not. I don't think there's anybody in this life that really wants to be a work at McDonald's and be an
I
employee at
don't think
McDonald's.
so
But I
either.
think maybe there's a boss. Maybe there's a guy that wants to be a
Could
boss
be,
there.
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But other than that, I don't think there really is anybody that really truly wants to work at McDonald's, you know? I just think that in people's head, they think that it's their only option, but it's not. I'm here to
Yeah.
tell you it is not your only option.
It isn't. Amen. And they settle because in their head they don't think they're are capable or worth it. I see more people that don't think they're worth what they're going for, and it's like, why would you not be worth it when? And everybody's worth it. God put you here. You're here for a reason. He's got something He wants you, and probably more than one thing to do here. And it's just like just believe. I say believe a lot, which is kind of overused, but you do have to believe that, you're capable. Well, like I always say, it won't be easy, but it's the strength training to get you to be able to do the dream, the journey that you're ultimately working towards. So
Most
kind of
definitely.
what you've been working for and working towards.
Oh, yeah. And it's a process. It is.
It
You're
is.
not
Oh
gonna
yeah.
get money right away. And
Nope. You
I
don't
know
know.
with Mark's podcast, he knows that
Yep.
and I know that, you're not. And maybe you still have it. You know what I mean? And that's okay. If you love what you do, it should be okay because the money will come.
It
And
will. Yeah.
you can ask other millionaires that the money will come. Like I know that I can't say that I'm a millionaire yet, but I promise you, eventually down the line, wealth will come. It's just I'm not focused on that. And I don't think anybody should be. If that's your number one goal,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're doing what you truly want to do. And
And no, it isn't. And you're going to be much more than millionaire. I just, the vibe from you is going to be much more than that, but it'll come as a side effect of what you're doing. And it's just, yeah, the money is not what it's about. It is. And that's when people say, when are you going to get a real job? It's like, and it's like, when are you going to work? It's like, well, I really don't feel like
and
working.
and with going to a D1 school, that's all I hear and it
Is that
sucks because
really?
I'm around people that truly genuinely just at least half the students, they just want 9 to 5s and they just want to get a job. They just want to start getting money and they just want to start a family and get life over with. It's like
which
It
is
just
yeah,
hurts my heart a little bit, you know?
I hear
It's like
you.
I wish I could help you out, but I truly can't help out the whole world. I
No.
wanna help out as many people as I can, but
Yep.
it's difficult to help out all these people because at the end of the day, it really is, it starts with you. It starts
Yeah.
with you changing your mind of how you think of life, you know? Um,
Yeah.
but
It is. Do you speak in front of people? I don't know if I asked you that before, because if you aren't a speaker, you'd be a great speaker.
yeah, I'm trying to think of some times that I have.
You have okay. Okay.
I have in class, obviously, a couple times. I'm actually going I'm going to Germany December 29th, and I'm actually gonna
Awesome.
talk in front of a high school English class.
Very
So I'm gonna talk
cool.
about my life, so that's gonna be kinda cool.
Yes. So
Hopefully
have
they understand at least half the stuff I say,
oh, I
but if
bet they
not,
will.
I guess I'm just talking, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
So have you been there before? Or have you been over Europe before?
Yeah, so I've been, I believe twice with my dad because my dad's family lives over there, so that's the
Okay,
reason
okay,
why we're
okay.
actually going. We're gonna go see my grandma and my cousins and stuff like that. So it'll be cool to be there for New Year's though, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
that will be. I mean, I've been to Frankfurt, Munich, but that's so
Yep,
that's
I'm
about as
going to
much.
Siegen, so it's kinda around Frankfurt. So yeah,
Okay, that's a nice area.
it's a good spot, that's for sure.
Okay.
So,
No,
the
I
plan
mean,
is though, I'm taking my clothes down there, so I just bought those samples that I showed you. So I'm gonna
yeah.
take those down there, and then the goal is to market them and just start getting my profile running of Original is Perfection and start just getting it out there and boosting my,
Mhm, mhm.
views and stuff like
Yeah,
that so that
yeah.
people can see it before I come back, to Lawrence. So
No, awesome. So, well, there you're starting to speak. Do you like to write?
yeah, so I actually just started journaling, and honestly, I
It's
think it's one of
cool.
the best things I could have done because I feel like I say so much that when you're a social person, you tend to forget some of the stuff you say,
I hear
and
you on that one.
that's why I video things, that's why I do little reels, that's why I write is because, there's so much information that I have that it's like it's hard to retain some of it, you know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Obviously, the most important things you can remember, but there's some little things, just like, the little things are the biggest things, so it's good to write those down and get those on video, so
Yes.
I
Yes.
think that if you're doing anything, whether it's a firefighter or a cop or whatever, I think, which is what I'm starting right now, is you should film your journey. Film your journey because you
Amen.
can look back on it,
Definitely.
first of all, for yourself and you'll love it.
Yep.
Second of all, you'll be able to show your kids if you do have kids or your wife or whatever of how you got there. And you'll be able to impact a community of people that want to be firefighters and
Amen.
policemen, So
Yep. No, and I get that too because as you know, I put a lot of my life up there, and everybody's like, "Who wants to see that?" It's like
yeah.
amazingly, a lot of people want to see that. I guess at my age and when I'm doing this, because everybody's like, "Well, you should be retiring," which I will never do, and it's just like, you know, why would I want to retire? Well, I don't want to ever follow that path ever anyway. But be inspirational. It's like he did it, I can do it. And kind of like what you say, it's do the work every day. To become, you have to embody the person you want to be before you are there. And
It's crazy because I went, to the gym yesterday,
okay,
and I was literally I was lifting with a friend, and I was doing some videos. Obviously, I've been doing more lifting videos recently, but, this random kid, like, came up to my friend and told him, he's seen his haircut videos because he's a barber. Then he came up to me and told me he's seen my videos, and, like, he told me that, "I love your lifting videos, bro, like, I see your stuff all the time," and it's just like you just never know
you know,
when someone's gonna see your content or your video and really just maybe it's the click that they needed to change their life around, Maybe it's that thing that went them from not trusting God or whatever to being like, "You know what? I'm gonna have faith," you know? So, and I can't say that I post a lot about God specifically, but I think down the line I could, but I just think that mine's more of just like lifestyle kind of living, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, and I think you're still doing God's work. He's putting that
mhm,
in your head to put the content out that you're doing, and to resonate with the people He wants to impact.
for sure.
Sometimes you never know. Even a simple hello when you're walking, by somebody can make their day. Holding the door or whatever it is. Um, I had a gal that was on social media and, younger gal and frustrated, and she was so lonely and that she just thought there was I think maybe social media has made us closer together but further apart, and, I told her that there's a person out there that, that she, because I think she will eventually wants to be married, but, it's just like, maybe not go with that goal, be the person, to just but, you never know who's you're going to influence. That might be you might be the change that changes their whole trajectory, you know, I
You
just
never know when you could be that little spark, you just and
exactly.
that's why I'm so social is because even if there's people that tell me to F bomb off and do this, do that, at the end of the day, I may be saving someone's life. So I'm gonna keep talking because if I
Amen.
can keep one more person on this earth than that wasn't, I'm okay with that. If I help somebody stay on earth, at the end of the day, that's honestly my goal, and I think that's why God created me was to
Yep,
be able to impact people and make sure people understand that life is beautiful,
it
life
is
is
beautiful.
amazing, and
Yep,
life isn't something we should take for granted. So,
amen. No,
and I try to say it in the nicest way, So,
yeah. No, you're
but
you're an awesome dude. So, Edwin, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Okay, you've done what you want. What would your ultimate, life look like? You're doing it sounds like awesome things coming up and been doing it. I mean, money was never an object, which I think we're both kind of that way, or it's kind of in the background. But I mean, a perfect day for you, if there's such thing that exists for any of us.
yeah, I think you asked me something like this last time.
Probably.
Honestly, I honestly think it's the same thing.
Is
I
it
I
okay?
genuinely just wanna have a smile on my face and be happy. Because at the end of the day, if I don't have those 2 things, something's wrong, you know what I mean? Something's really, really off because even on my worst days, I still make sure to have a smile and to be happy because those 2 things should never go away, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess in perspective of what you're saying, kinda where do I wanna be? Like, where do I wanna
Yeah.
live and stuff like that? Is that kinda what you're talking
Yeah.
about? I think that it would be really, really cool to live somewhere by like a beach, I guess, but in the
I'll be on
city.
that
So
one.
maybe like California or Florida or something like that. Just
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, I think it is beneficial to be surrounded by people that are kind of going towards the same goal as you. And I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
content creators out there. I think
Yes.
in Kansas there's not, but I'm not saying that's stopping me from being a content creator.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not. I'm still doing what I'm doing.
Yep.
It's just I think that I could excel a lot faster if I was around people that were doing the same thing. And there's a lot more clientele down there as
Yeah.
well and what
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to reach.
Affinity. Yeah. Of the people. Yeah. So do you like to surf? Have you surfed?
I haven't, but I think it'd be cool for
I could
sure.
see you surfing. I could definitely see, surfing.
It'd be cool for sure.
So, is there anything that you would still like to do that you haven't done? That you've always like, I'm going to do that someday. Well, if you have, that's good. If you have,
I don't know. I try to take every day, day by day. I
that's a
think
great way
that
to do it.
taking it piece by piece and not thinking so much about the future. I think you should think about the future. You should think about, me going to college. What is the outcome? There's certain things, but I think in reality, just taking things day by day and just understanding that, okay, I have to conquer today. And then tomorrow I have to conquer even more. But I'm gonna think about tomorrow later. Today, I'm focused on making myself a better person than I was yesterday,
Yes.
And the more and more you do that, the more and more consistent you'll be. And like I said, consistency is key. So when
Yeah.
you're consistent, then the things that you really want in life will come. Whether it's money, whether it's a wife, whether it's, all those things. Not focusing on it so much will literally speed up the process. And I've learned that with school, with basketball, with all the things I've done, with working out, with gaining weight, I'm not thinking about it, I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
And I
Good way.
think that's the thing is just doing it, taking
Yeah.
that first step.
It
So
is, which most people don't do. Yeah, that is definitely. So how long will it be before you graduate?
I actually have only another year because I took so much high school credit. I'm actually a
Okay.
sophomore, but I'm considered a junior because of high school credit.
Okay.
But I'm thinking about going another year and a half just because I like the environment that I'm in right now, and I
Sure.
think that I could benefit from all the people, and I could, build more of like a social and kinda just use KU to my
Yeah.
benefit. But we'll see. You never know.
So would you want to get an advanced degree? in like a
Yeah, so I actually thought about getting into law school. I think that,
okay.
taking full advantage of school would be getting into law school because, you know, um at the end of the day, school for me is plan B. And I was just talking to my mom about this last night. A plan B isn't something you should think negatively about. A plan
Mhm.
B is something that, especially for entrepreneurs, is something you should take advantage of. Let's say you're trying to open up a business. Let's say you're trying to do a podcast.
Yep.
You're gonna need a place, you're gonna need a mic, you're gonna need all this stuff. So having that plan B to finance your incomes to have that plan A is really beneficial because
Yes.
it's that working smarter, not harder. If you only have a plan A and you don't have a plan B, you dropped out of college, this, that, then you're working harder, not smarter. If you just struggle for a little bit, college is hard, yeah. But if you get through it, then you have that plan B. And it's a lot easier for you to get that plan A because you have that plan B to not fall back on, but to use. So I think people look at it in a wrong term, and I fall. I'm victim to that too. I
Me
looked at it
too.
in a
Yeah.
really bad term of oh, I don't want to have a plan B. But now it's like I do want to have a plan B because I can use it.
You
It's
can.
a blessing to have a plan B.
It
So
is. So how did you get such a great mindset? How I mean, who did you have this when you were younger?
yeah, so in the first podcast I had told everybody and you that my grandpa actually passed away when I was younger, and he was actually the person that essentially I am right now. He was social, he talked to everybody, he gave everybody the time of day,
Okay.
and I think that that's kind of what made me who I am. And I think that knowledge comes with time, and knowledge comes with just getting yourself out there and experiencing new things and going to see new places. I was blessed with the family that I have and the parents that I have, and they took me overseas and they took me a bunch of places that actually impacted my life and made me think, oh, wow, this is eye opening. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
Whether it was history, whether it was seeing a homeless person every other street on the
Yeah.
ground, it's like there's so many things that you can experience in just seeing the world that a lot of people don't even do because they're trapped in their little town. They're trapped in this place that is like, oh, well, I'm the best in my little town, so I'm good enough. And
Yeah.
it's like once you see the world and once you see what people are actually truly capable of, you know what I mean? It's like reality. It's like a reality check. But yeah, I was definitely blessed with that. And obviously I think that gave me a little bit of wisdom, but I think overall it's just I just decided to just risk it and tell myself that, Edwin, you're gonna wake up and sometimes you're gonna fail. Sometimes you're gonna not succeed in the things you do, but with failing comes success. You can't get success without failing. You really can't, unless you're winning the lottery, which actually, I think winning the lottery, you still have to fail because you probably scratching off a bunch of tickets before you get that
Probably
one.
spent a lot of money on that. Yes. Yeah.
But
No, I mean, Edwin, you are so inspirational. I mean, I can't wait to see. Yeah, I mean, you've changed so much. So I don't when we did the first podcast, not the last year or whenever it was. You have changed so much just in that time period. Maybe that was going down to Kansas, doing it from
yeah,
Hastings.
I
But
definitely hope we can do another one though too,
oh
because
yeah,
keep the
excellent.
streak on.
Oh, I'd love to have you as a recurring guest. And that's one thing everybody's like with the podcast. I'm coming up on my 350th episode on January 12th, and
Heck yeah.
everybody's like, and it doesn't seem like it never sounded like it seemed like work, but it's doing that and doing it, just continually doing it. And you make so much progress in the amount of people that I've met around the world. I mean, I don't know. I did one the other day with a gentleman in Pakistan and on a podcast, and I got invited to his wedding next November, and
Big
which was
time, yeah.
interesting. But
And that's the thing too. Like you never know what people will have to offer for you just by giving them a simple conversation.
true. Yeah.
There's been so many outlets that I've got. There's been so many places I've been able to go because of my being my social self. Just having a simple conversation. Hey, how you doing? I love your outfit, bro.
Right.
When that happens, people open up to you and that they're nice. They show you their nice side. Some people obviously they'll tell you the f bomb, but
Yeah.
overall, there's a majority of people that'll actually speak up and they won't tell you the f bomb. So just got
So
to keep.
yeah, I mean, so how do you find the people that you help? I mean, you just going down the street and you see somebody and that's the person, or I mean, is there it probably isn't a
That's
plan for that. Mm,
It's really anybody. It's like when God's just talking to me, he's telling me like, "Hey, help that person out." I'll go and help that person out, whether he looks like he's got a rich $3,000 coat on, because sometimes those people need the most help.
I do.
Sometimes like we said, are you gonna feel fulfilled having all this money, but you didn't choose the route that you chose, or are you gonna feel fulfilled choosing that route, being that firefighter, being that cop? You know what I mean? And
Yep,
sometimes these people right here need the most help, and so
they do.
just giving them that realization that you're still thought of, you're still amazing, and maybe that'll give them that realization that, you know what, I'm amazing. You know what, I'm gonna be a firefighter. You know what I mean? It's like you never know. You just never know. So I think that the stuff I video, the stuff I film, I think that um is the stuff that people truly want to see. But the stuff that I really do in life and I don't really get on video sometimes is the things that just some people may not want to see, but I'm just doing anyways. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Um, it's just marketing at the end of the day. It's really just
True,
marketing.
it is. Anyway, so
But yeah, no, you said what?
do you have a YouTube channel?
So I have one. I have some music videos, but I'm gonna start
Okay.
literally right after this. I'm vlogging myself, talking about my journey of having a clothing line, and I'm gonna start with my first one, and then I'm doing one every single week until obviously I get to the point where it's successful. So
Yep. It just becomes part of who what you do.
yep.
Just it's like this is what I do. So Ed, before we end the podcast, anything else you would like to share with the audience?
Man, this guy's a great guy. Like
Huh, you.
this guy's amazing. He sticks to his ways and he's consistent. Sometimes that's all you can ask for. There's a lot of, especially in today's society, there's a lot of people out there that you can't find being consistent nowadays. It's like what people say about the 9 to 5s, like, it's hard to find somebody that'll actually show up every single day nowadays.
He's like, yeah,
Dang, that's the first step for an entrepreneur. You have to
yeah,
show up every day.
yes, yeah,
No, it's always good to join a little podcast and just talk about life, because that's at the end of the day, that should be what life's about is,
amen.
sharing
I
my
agree.
story and you sharing your story.
Yep, yep. I think that's great. I think that's an excellent place to end for the podcast. Edwin, thank you for joining me on this episode of the Dreamcatcher podcast. I look forward to the future ones,
Heck
and
yeah. It's gonna be a good one. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it will be. Yes. So
Oh, yeah.
on that, we'll end and have a good rest of your day.
Alright.